Influencers are some of the most entitled people out there, and even though their fame is fleeting, their egos are not, and they believe they are entitled to free things whenever they want. That's why today I'm going to be listing the top 10 entitled influencers who wanted free stuff and got exposed. I'm Mackenzie, and make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel and want to see more. In at number 10, Chase McNary. This one is probably the worst because this guy was one of the least memorable people on The Bachelor, and he was asking for something that I've never even heard of. In the long email, Chase's reps described that he's been on The Bachelorette as well as Bachelor in Paradise, and touted his social media following. Then they got to the part where they offer a collaboration. Basically, Chase wanted a free place to live in exchange for his services. The email states that Chase is looking to partner with an apartment complex in Denver as a quote, live-in social influencer, which I assume means he posts often about the place in exchange for free rent. Since this was posted to the internet, I would assume the apartment did not take him up on the offer and instead thought it was ridiculous. And at number 9, free meal. This influencer was mad that a restaurant she went to did not value her presence enough to give her a discount on her meal. Let me explain. In the 1-star review, the influencer explained that she went to the restaurant, ordered a ton of food, and the food was really good. At one point, the manager came over to ask about the food, and the influencer told the manager that she had some followers and was going to be posting the food to her social media, which the manager obviously appreciated. But when the bill came, the influencer was infuriated at the fact that the manager did not give her some sort of discount because she said she would be posting the food. The influencer finished it off saying she thought the food was great, but won't be going back anytime soon because the manager needs to understand how to treat customers. This is entitled for many reasons, but also no one asked for you to put it on your Instagram, so there's that. And at number 8, Jake Paul. You guys already know at least one of the Paul brothers had to be on this list, and I'm sure Jake could be on this list for multiple reasons. But Jake got slammed after he posted to his Instagram looking to hire a music producer and sound engineer in exchange for clout. The post read, quote, "If you are a young aspiring music producer and engineer, please read. We are in need of a full-time in-house producer engineer who will mainly act as an engineer for us. This will be an internship position and will provide you with real-life experience, connections, exposure, and a whole lot of fun." Kind of dancing around the fact that there would be no actual payment involved, and the person would be offering their services in exchange for pretty much nothing. Ethan Klein responded on Twitter, quote, "Full-time in-house producer who is also an intern. Bro, you can afford to pay him, you cyberbully," referencing his Cody Co cyberbully scandal that was taking place at that time. Another person posted a fake application email, saying, quote, "Oh my god, hi Jake, I would like to work with you for exposure. My interests include getting shafted by rich boys. Please write back." And at number 7, Johnny Meggs. Influencer Johnny Meggs was exposed by John Lethan when Lethan posted a screenshot of a conversation on Instagram. In the DM, Meggs asks if a restaurant can create a dinner for him and his bridesmaids for the next night as a surprise. He then adds that he hopes they can do some sort of collaboration in exchange for the food. When the restaurant owner follows up and asks what he means by collaboration, Meggs explains that he can do some grid and story posts of the food to give the restaurant exposure. And there's just so much wrong with this. Firstly, Johnny Meggs isn't a food influencer, so it really doesn't make sense for him to even promote it. And to do a whole dinner for a bunch of people the very next day is super expensive and way more valuable than a few posts from a guy with 50,000 followers. And at number 6, free meal number 2. This is yet another influencer who was hoping for a free meal in exchange for promotion. It starts off with an email from an influencer saying they were on the show, quote, "My Kitchen Rules," and they were hoping for a free meal at the restaurant in exchange for posting on Instagram. But the restaurant did not like this and clapped back by posting the email on their Instagram story, as well as adding that they can pay like everyone else and their exposure does nothing to translate into actual dollars, even adding that if Katy Perry can pay for food at their restaurant, so can this influencer. Halfway at number 5, entitled brat. This is one of those cases where an influencer turned into a spoiled brat once they didn't get what they asked for. The influencer started off saying that they loved the brand's products and that they want to promote them on their page. The brand responded asking what they were thinking, and the influencer said that they want free items in exchange for a post. The brand then said no, and called out the fact that the influencer only had 1,000 followers. The influencer then snapped and started to tell the brand that their clothes sucked anyways, and the brand will, quote, "never get an opportunity like this in their life." To which the brand simply replied, "Good luck." And at number 4, crazy. There's no other word to describe this conversation other than just bat crazy. I can't even comprehend that this is a real conversation that happened. It started with the influencer DMing a musician, asking if they can post their music to their page. The musician reluctantly replied yes, and then the influencer says that they actually needed $10 for the post, to which the musician replies no, because they only have 2,000 followers. After the musician says no a few more times, the influencer totally changes their demeanor and starts being really weird and condescending, even threatening to still post the song on their page, which is kind of a weird threat. The musician then says that they will sue if the influencer posts their music, to which the influencer responded, quote, "LOL stupid," 4 times. This influencer has something seriously wrong with them. And at number 3, huge discount. This one starts off with the influencer asking a company if they can create a picnic setup for them and 10 friends. When the company gives their rate for how much that would be, the influencer claps back that they actually want it for free. And on top of the free meal, the company would actually need to pay the influencer $200 to post it on their socials. And this would apparently be quite the opportunity for the picnic company, because the influencer usually charges $1,200 to be on their page. One commenter summed it up perfectly and said this influencer basically wanted her to do a service for her, then pay her for the pleasure of doing work for her. Outrageous. And at number 2, won't pay for art. This might be the most demanding influencer I've ever seen, who wouldn't pay a measly €10 for some art. It starts with the artist reaching out because the influencer's manager contacted them, and the influencer tells them to start working ASAP on a drawing. While the influencer is in a rush for the artist to get started, the artist says that he will not start working until someone signs his invoice. The influencer then gets very defensive and questions why the artist would even have the nerve to ask for payment, because the artist will be getting exposure from their 240,000 followers. We then learn that the artist is only asking for €10, and the influencer is so cheap he won't even pay that. When the influencer calls the artist dispensable and says we'll just get someone else, the artist replies that he won't be doing the work. And finally at number 1, $30,000 sapphire. This ask is so ridiculous I can't even believe that it's real, but this influencer, putting that in quotes because they only have 300 followers, asked to receive a $30,000 sapphire necklace in exchange for posting it on their story, and I guess on their Instagram in general, to their 300 followers. This person is so delusional that they think posting to their 300 followers is worth the price of a $30,000 necklace. Like, what world do we live in? The brand acts very graceful when declining the request and says that they will only be giving away the necklace for money, obviously. But the brand is very nice and actually offers to send a small stone for free, which is a lot more than I would have offered. But the influencer does not like this and says in all caps that they don't want the cheap stone. They even threaten to leave a bad review on the item. So the brand says that they are blocking them. So that's all for the video today. Let me know your thoughts on all of this below. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on Lil Nas X. Ava said, "If y'all don't leave this man alone." You know, I think Lil Nas X is one of those people that's, you know, he knows that all press is good press, so we weren't even really hating on him, but I don't think he minds at all. He's like, say whatever you want about me as long as you're saying something, I'm here for it. Then Shawnee said, he's an icon. He really is an icon. His videos, his promotional materials are top notch. Like getting pregnant with his album, that's amazing. How's no one thought of that? Genius. Then Bunny May said, well, he did have Satan in his Montero video and put blood in his shoes, so I can see why people think he sold his soul. Yeah, I think it's one of those things, like he understands the affiliation, and I think that's why he even commented on it. I think he weirdly wants the affiliation just to add even more to his branding so he looks like the bad boy. I think that's kind of what he wants, like the bad boy of rap. Anyway, so he's loving all of it. Lil Nas X is the troll king. Obsessed with him. Alright guys, all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around if you made it all the way here. If you liked the video and you want to see more, make sure to like and sub to the channel below. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith. Make sure to check us out on social media, and I'll catch you all in the next one.